So one of the things you're going to want to learn to do as you begin to study Bible geography is really take notice of the names of places, because those names have interesting insights behind them about the place and the locations that you read about in the Bible. I have the Olive Tree Bible software app on my iPhone, and I have the word study module with that, and I can just click on that word and find out what the term is there and what the definition of it is. And so this video clip today is just a very brief introduction to that. Pastor just recently mentioned the importance of names as he was going through the names of God, or actually the prophets, minor prophets. And this applies to geographical names as well. And we've got a few more minutes. I'm going to try to squeeze these in real quick. Well, we're going to be constantly looking at the meaning of names because they tell you a lot about what's going on at that place. And there's also a lot of prefixes and suffixes that tell us things about geography. For instance, Kadesh. Kadesh means sanctuary, holy place, sanctum. And we know that the Israelites stayed in Kadesh Barnea on their way out of Egypt. And Kadesh was a sanctuary for them. I've been told there's maybe 18 possible places. What are we looking at? 18 possible places where it could have been. They didn't build a city there, and so we don't know exactly which one of those spots, but it would have been a sanctuary. This is one of those possible spots. Running water there in the desert would have been a sanctuary. Ramoth means heights. Ramoth in Gilead in the Old Testament was a city of refuge, but it's located up on this great height up there today, which is what is Jordan. Now, what do we know about it from the name? It means it's located on a height, Ramoth, and we see that there. Mizpah means it's a place with a panoramic view. There's several places in the Bible that are just called Mizpah. This particular one is Mizpah Ramon. It's down in the south of the country. There's a humongous crater there, and it's called a Moktesh. But at least 4 other places named Mizpah. Jim Bradford and I were there in 2019, and you can see this is a panoramic view. It's a beautiful place. Archaeological sites in the Middle East are often referred to with the prefix tel, and we're going to be seeing many tels as we go through this. They're mounds that are formed by centuries of habitation, and they're usually just kind of rounded off and whatnot, and they form when generations of building debris collapse and accumulate, and the mound just gets higher and higher. And that's why you will find them very often in this area, because it's so dry. They never really get washed away, but they do collapse over time with the little rain they get. Tel just means hill. Harar in Hebrew means mount or hill. The ancient city of Megiddo looks on a hill overlooking the Jezreel Valley, as you see in this photo. And these are the ruins of Megiddo. And the Battle of Armageddon, of course, takes its name from Harar Megiddo, Harmageddon, and Mount Megiddo. Beer means well, so the name Beersheba means the well of the oath, or the well of sevens, because Abraham gave Abimelech 7 ewe lambs so that Abimelech would recognize this well that Abraham had dug. Abraham had a struggle there trying to maintain ownership of his wells, and they made a covenant here, so you want to remember Beer. And when you see En or Ein before a name, it means that there's a spring there or a water source. And so when you think about David hiding at the spring of En-Gedi, running from Saul, we know that it's a place that would have had water. And the spring of En-Gedi is still there today. You can visit it. It's like a botanical garden down there. It's absolutely beautiful and abundant water there. And when we read about the witch of Endor, what do we immediately know about Endor? There's a spring there. It's the spring of Dor. And we're going to see a lot of springs identified by En in Scripture, including En Rogel, En Eglaim, En Karim, where John the Baptist was supposed to have been born, and so forth. So that prefix helps you. Well, next week, we're going to begin in Genesis 6 with the flood. And we're going to spend some time on an extremely important part of Scripture, if you want to understand this, and that's the Table of Nations in Genesis 10. And we're going to get a little background for the Canaanites. The Bible tells us a lot about this land that the Israelites are going in to possess, and this is going to help with that. So I would ask you to please read the book of Genesis for next week. at least the first half of it, in preparation for the next few lessons.